Information Station 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock, it's time for This Week in Real Estate with your host, Bob Kennedy, your local real estate expert with Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty. And the phone number to call during the course of the show is 622-9622. And I think we're going to learn about something I've kind of wanted to know about. It's the short sales. I keep hearing about it. I don't even know anything about them. Bob Kennedy. Good morning, Bob. How you doing?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good
Happy Veterans Day.
Yeah, we're thanking our vets. I am not one, and but Joe is. Joe Martone is a vet, so.
Great.
And a couple of people, of course, that work here are, so. And the kids are remembering it today, so that's good.
That's really nice.
Do you know the first time I ever went to buy a house, the first thing I asked was, I need one I went to the realtor, and I said, I need one in the school district. Does that happen a lot, where people actually come to you and say, there's a reason I want a house in this area, and here's the reason?
Yes, people want to buy for certain reasons, and as long as it's something general like a school area, we're okay. If somebody comes in and says they want a specific area I want to be near a certain type of church or something like that, then you have to be real careful.
Oh, because
of federal guidelines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, wow.
You have to be really careful.
But schools are okay. School districts are okay.
That's pretty general. We're usually pretty good with that.
So the one thing, and I know you wanted to talk about short sales. I guess I need to know what it is, first of all.
Well, we get tons of calls, and people they ask about short sales, they ask about bank-owned homes. And really what they want to, the difference between them and what makes one and the other different. And a short sale is the home owner is the seller of the house.
Okay.
Okay? An REO, real estate owned, bank owned properties, you're seeing a lot of auctions, things like that. Those are properties that are owned by a bank, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, one of these institutions. They've already, mostly through foreclosure, they've gotten the houses back. The institution is the seller. On a short sale, it's the homeowner. You negotiate with the homeowner.
But is somebody distressed? Is a short sale the result of somebody needing to get out?
Yes.
Okay.
The short sale term comes from the fact that the house is being sold for less than the amount of the mortgage.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And let's go to the phone. I want to make sure the listeners know that this is an opportunity to call in. The number is 622-9622. And Bob Kennedy is your host, by the way. This is his second show on WOCA. And it's really good getting to know Bob, by the way. Good morning. You're on the air with Bob Kennedy.
Good morning, Mr. Kennedy. I have a question in relationship to subdivisions and some of the gated communities. I understand that this is now law or something, and we get the yearly proposed budgets and everything, and it seems like it started this year, and it's continuing on. The state HUD regulations is a fee, and I guess you got to pay some kind of fee to keep registered as a 55-plus community. But now all of a sudden I'm seeing an additional charge per lot in the subdivision, and all this, is added on to operating cost, for the people that run or supervise the subdivisions and help maintain the status quo of and enforce the covenants. And I'm just wondering, is this, I understand this is for almost every subdivision, regardless of, whether it's jumbo layer or regular little subdivision. I'm just wondering what that deal is, and is this another intrusive step by our anti-American government there in Washington? And I'm just curious as
Well,
to...
I don't know, but the general description that you're making sounds like it's an issue that you need to take up. Most subdivisions and communities have management companies that determine how things are, they have to do all the compliance. So I would check with with your local government inside there, and then you talk to the management people. It's all full disclosure. It's all transparent. They'll show you what the fees go for.
Right. Well, I live in we're basically a self-governing subdivision. In other words, our Property Owners Association is, from the president down, everybody is a volunteer.
They all are.
Yes.
All right, thank you for the call. The phone lines are open if you want to call Bob. The number is 622-9622. Getting back to the short sale, is that an opportunity for an investor, or is it who normally will be attracted to a short sale?
Short sales are well tailored to investors, and also for a homeowner. The biggest issue on the buying side is there's a time frame that's involved that could be anywhere from 2 months to up to a year.
Oh, wow.
Because the banks, they move at their own pace, and there's certain guidelines that you have to follow through the short sale process.
So where does the word short apply? If it takes longer.
No kidding. You talk about an oxymoron. That is, it's and it's very, very frustrating and very stressful to go through the process, both for the buyer and the seller, because the buyer, they go in, they're ready to buy a house,
right,
and the anticipation is maybe 90-day time frame, but sometimes there's just issues that come up. The banks do their own reviews. They do it at their own pace.
Right.
The frustrating thing for a real estate agent is you can't give somebody a specific time frame. It's not like when you go for a mortgage in
Right.
30 to 45 days, you have your mortgage, you're
You
ready
get
to
a
close.
general idea, yeah.
You would think it'd work the opposite on a short sale, but it just doesn't.
So a bank-owned home, the ones you would describe, the other end of the spectrum, I guess, would that be more affordable to the typical buyer?
It would be. It would be.
And quicker?
Much quicker, because you get a decision usually within several days.
And Bobby, you do have another phone call. And just to reiterate, the phone number here right now is 622-9622. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air with Bob Kennedy.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Kennedy. On a short sale, you're getting locked up with a bank for a long period of time, as you just explained. Can somebody come in and overbid for you and steal that property, more or less, or are you kind of locked in on it?
Well, you have a binding contract at that point. So if you have a contract on a short sale home, it's just like having a contract on any other home. That's binding until it works through the process, or the buyer. As long as the contract's in effect, you can't do anything else.
If it takes longer than you really want, like more than a year, can you get out of it?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, a lot of times buyers get so frustrated with waiting and waiting and waiting that they decide it's time to move on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there ever a time when a person wants to sell their house, they need to get out, and somebody offers to buy it, and can that person that's going to buy it take over the loan, or do they need their own?
It's virtually the only loans that really still have the ability to be assumed are VAs.
Oh.
And I haven't seen an assumed loan in more than a decade at least. Everyone does have to go in and do their own financing.
Bob, we have to take a little break. We're up to the point where we take a weather break, and the phone line is open. If you want to call Bob during this break, we'll put you on hold until after the break. 622-9622. We'll be right back after the weather.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Beautiful day today with lots of sunshine, the high 76 to 80. Tonight will be mainly clear and comfortable with lows ranging from the upper 40s in the coldest inland spot to the upper 50s near the coast. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 76 to 80. On Thursday, times of clouds and sun, high 77 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
All right, 17 minutes after 10 o'clock, you're listening to This Week in Real Estate with your host, Bob Kennedy, and he is looking forward to hearing from you. The phone number is 622-9622. We've been talking about bank-owned homes, if I said that right, and short sales, and today's Veterans Day. So it sounded like you mentioned the VA has, like, if you're a veteran, you get a little bit different treatment than anybody else would?
If you qualify for a VA loan, it is one of the best loan programs out there. It's zero down payment. It does not have PMI attached to it, and it really is about the best loan program out there.
Okay, and you do have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Bob Kennedy.
Good morning. I'd like to ask you about a house I have across the street from me had a reverse mortgage on it. Both the people died about a year and a half ago. The house is set empty. How do reverse mortgages work, and why would it set empty so long?
Oh, that's a question we get asked very often, not necessarily respective to reverse mortgages, but in Florida, well, first of all, it's probably being foreclosed on. And Florida is a judicial foreclosure state, which means that every foreclosure has to go through the court system. And the backlog is not what it was, but I mean, they hired 7 retired judges in Orlando a couple years ago just to help with the backlog. So to answer your question, that house may take up to 2 years to go through the foreclosure process before the bank takes it back and is able to put it on the market.
Well, these foreclosure mortgages are advertised as so great on television. Why would that be? I mean, who would want one?
Well, they're going to, in today's world, a lot of the foreclosures in our market are homes that are not in great shape. So they attract, a lot of the people that are attracted to those are going to be investors, which is not a bad thing because they're fixing these houses up that are in really disrepair, and they're turning around and making them viable rental properties or resale.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's getting some great calls today, so we would appreciate some more. The number 622-9622. So are the things we're talking about today, the bank-owned homes and the short sales and something that's been foreclosed on, which I guess would be a bank-owned home, so it's kind of the same category.
Right.
And the deed in lieu, you have a question provided for me to ask you, but I don't even know what it is. So what is a deed in lieu?
A deed in lieu is the alternative to a short sale. It's kind of the in-between step between a short sale and a foreclosure. Sometimes, for whatever reason, a bank will come in and they'll say to the homeowner, "Hey, we've been through this whole process. We'll let you walk away, and you give us the house back, and you leave."
Oh, okay.
Now, there's
okay.
a lot that goes on behind the scenes. You have to have had the house on the market in most cases. There's a tremendous amount of paperwork that has to be submitted to the lenders, and it's a process, but it helps with the process for the homeowner.
You're really getting the phone ringing today, Bob. Good morning. You're on the air with Bob Kennedy.
Yes, I was just curious. We had we lost a home in foreclosure. What are the chances of getting a new home these days, or buying a used home?
How long ago did it happen?
Probably 2 years.
Was it a foreclosure or a short sale?
It was a foreclosure.
Okay. What I would recommend is you talk to a lender to see where you're at overall. If your credit is in good shape and you've been foreclosed on, we're seeing people be able to buy a house within usually about 3 years. On a short sale, as little as 24 months.
Right.
Because you have to, you have things that have happened to your credit, they're going to have to be addressed.
Right. Okay.
All right, thank
appreciate
you. So do you have, when you're asked the question, have you ever had a foreclosure, do you have to say yes if it's been 7 years or more? I always thought 7 years was the magic number.
Well, that's kind of more of on a bankruptcy thing.
Oh, okay.
The biggest problem that gentleman or anybody that's had a house foreclosed on is that they probably have a judgment against them in the amount of the deficiency on the mortgage.
Oh, okay.
And that's really hard to work around. That's why short sales, just from a straight real estate standpoint, short sale is much better than a foreclosure for the consumer.
Can a retiree purchase a home with owing payments, or do they have to pay cash for it?
No, age is not protected, so they can't deny mortgages. And
wow!
And there are times there's plenty of times where people are in their 60s or 70s that are closing on homes with mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the gentleman who just called, he asked the question, and the way he phrased it, I wanted to ask something. He said he was looking for a new or a used home. That's kind of like what you would say about a car. Am I right about this, that a used home is really no more affordable than a new home? It seems like it.
New home prices are probably a little bit are higher right now than resale, just because of the costs involved. But the cost of a new home is a lot less than it was several years ago because of land values being down.
Somebody who's going to so getting back to the short sale, you're using the short sale method, and that's because you want to avoid foreclosure.
That's a big reason, yeah.
Okay, so do you have to take a hit? Do you yourself have to take a hit? Are you going to be out some money?
As the homeowner?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sure. First of all, you're going to lose whatever you put into the house, whatever money, because you don't get any money at closing. Whatever you don't have enough money to pay off the mortgage. So what happens is the real estate agent that you hire will work to negotiate directly with the bank for the bank to accept an amount less than that is owed.
So how does the real estate agent get paid?
The bank pays all the closing costs for the seller.
Okay.
Doc stamps, HOA fees, anything associated with closing, the bank pays.
So do you represent any homes right now that would fit into any of the categories we've talked about today?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It's some people have to, sometimes people they're transferred and they have to take the job, but in order to take the job, they have to sell their house, and they're in a short sale situation. We have bank-owned homes that, banks say, hey, get
Can we
rid of
see them
this.
online?
Sure. You go to our website.
What is your website, Bob?
BHHSHometeamRealty.com.
BHS Home Team Realty?
.com.
All right. And we can actually look at the homes that you have listed?
Sure.
Wow, that is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Before a person comes to you to even look at a home, should they get pre-approved by some financial institution, or or can they get pre-approved through somebody you recommend?
Well, we have lenders that we work with, but in order for someone to go out and purchase a home, they should be pre-qualified. Most sellers are going to ask, is this buyer pre-qualified? They're going to want to see a letter from the bank that is attached to the contract in most cases. And if you're buying a bank-owned home or you're going Fannie, Freddie, whatever, you have to show proof of funds.
I just went to the website. That's a nice-looking living room. I don't know where I'm looking at. It's a white couch and nice. Everything looks nice.
I don't know. Maybe it's Warren Buffett's.
Oh, is this Berkshire Hathaway for the whole Berkshire Hathaway?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so what do? We look for our specific area? And
You just put in a zip code.
Okay.
You put in a city, and it'll do a search.
All right. The phone number right now is 622-9622. What is your phone number, Bob?
622-9700.
Okay. And how did the launch party go? You had some kind of a launch?
We had a great time. We were over at Mesa de Note, and Jose and the staff just did a wonderful job, and we just had a really good time.
Isn't that great when you kick something off? It's an exciting, exhilarating feeling, isn't it?
It was quite a day. We did the ribbon cutting in the afternoon, which is extremely well attended, and then we had the party that night, and we were off and running.
And it was quite coincidental. You were on last time, and gosh, maybe not even an hour after you left, I was online. I said, Robin, come in here, look at this. There was a story very, very complimentary about the whole what do you call it? Transitioning, I guess, of Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah.
I mean, because sometimes you'll see something in the news, and it's not always positive. This was very positive.
The Berkshire Hathaway name is so compelling to people, and it's transitioning well into a consumer brand of real estate.
Mm-hmm. How do you handle two couples that want the same property?
There's two ways to do it. You let the people know that there's competing offers, and the seller is ultimately the one who makes the decision.
Okay.
Like, you could come in, you have two people offer $150,000, but the terms may be different.
Oh.
One may be able to close quicker. One may be there might be differences in the offers that would differentiate, even though they're the same price. Or you can, in a bid situation, a lot of times you go back and you tell everybody, give us your final and best.
Oh my
and
gosh.
then we go from there. It doesn't. In some markets, you have a lot of bidding. Here, you'll have it on some of the lower end bank homes because they're all cash deals, and a lot of investors are chasing them.
Oh, okay.
So I went to your website, and you've got some homes as low, and I'm sure this is like a cottage or something, $17,000.
It's not really livable.
Oh no!
That's one of the bank-owned homes we're talking about.
Oh really?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well that was the lowest one on the list.
Well, I know the agent involved. Her recommendation was to bulldoze it.
Oh, she didn't want to hear you say it was. Oh no!
So you're not getting you know.
Don't go for that one then.
Well, not unless you're not too picky.
Well, I think you just demonstrated that you're an honest realtor.
Yes.
Bob, that was a fun show today. Thank you for doing what you're doing with this. And real quickly, what's your phone number again?
622-9700.
And the website is
BHHSHometeamRealty.com.
And I put in 3447 there. 70 just for one of the zip codes from around here, and that's where I found that one. So.
Yeah, and that's not just our listings. That's everything in the multiple listing.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Bob. That was fun.
Enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
News Radio, I'm Pam Puso. He's free of Ebola, and Dr. Craig Spencer is ready to leave a New York hospital.
The 33-year-old tested positive for Ebola on October 23rd after returning from Guinea, where he had been treating patients with the disease for Doctors Without Borders.
Fox News Radio's Jessica Gallagher. Hundreds of Americans continue to be monitored for Ebola. Winter's early arrival catching many off guard in the upper Midwest.
I think I should have put the boat away a week ago. I should have went to Arizona a week ago. Should have winterized the cabin at the river a week ago.
That man in Watertown, South Dakota, up to 16 inches of snow could blanket parts of northern Wisconsin, as much as 2 feet in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, catching up with a house in Hawaii. Red-hot lava destroying an empty home on the Big Island, the nearest neighbor about half a mile away. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Looking for a Medicare Part D plan? Join Express Scripts Medicare. You'll get personalized service from a dedicated team to help you save money and protect your health.
Express Scripts Medicare advisors like me can help you save money on your prescriptions.
As an Express Scripts pharmacist, I'm here to answer questions about your medications anytime, even in the middle of the night.